Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Well, I just woke up recently, so I'm not really bright eye and bushy tail, but I am here. Hello. Excalibur is here, says, first, yes, you are. This is just like the good old days. Yes. And Pranay Nalk says, hey, Mehran, from India, quite late. Yeah, it is quite late. What are you doing up so late? This is dedication. Very kind of you to spend your sleeping time with us, and I appreciate it. But let us know your gender, age, and where you're tuning up. We know it's India, but age and gender, if you will. Because I'm not so familiar with all names around the world, so I can't tell from the name if you're a man or woman. But anyhow, welcome and thank you for being here. Jeffrey from Toronto, I believe, says, greetings, Mehran. Jeff Mail 33, Toronto, here. You are here. How are you on your end? Well, we're good. It's raining, foggy as usual. It's been raining nonstop for the past few days. So even so, I go for the walk at nights by the beach, by the ocean, and I get soaking wet when I come back, but still good to get some exercise going, especially at my age. Aman says, hello, Mehran. Hello, Aman. How are you, dear? I read your email, your poem. I think you sent a poem, but it was good. However, I think it would be better if you make the poem more hopeful and positive rather than expressing. Perhaps you can start with expressing it, how it makes you feel, the OCD and all, but then end up bringing hopes and remedies like possibilities and positivities, and the fact that you are determined to deal and understand and educate yourself and beat it and bring the balance back to your life. So these are the things that probably a good poetry would be able to deliver. And most poetries in the world is constantly talking about the doom and gloom and sadness and so on, which is, it's easy to write sadness. Everybody identifies with it. But what we want is a jolt to get us out and show hope and glimmer and direction and beacon to succeed, to strive and advance. And that's perhaps something, if you add your poetry, would be even better. Good job. Good job. Yes, I did. I did read it, yes. And Gato says, hello, Mehran. Hello, Mr. Mehran. I'm still sleepy. Not into so much energy. So I'll read slow. It says, hello, Mr. Mehran. I wish you a Merry Christmas, even though we both are not religious. Male 30 for Italy. Va bene. Grazie. And a Merry Christmas to you as well, regardless if we are religious or not, if we are Christian or not. It's a celebration. It's a time of good spirits and positive thoughts and helpful attitude and love and harmony, regardless of what religion you have. Every religion has these sort of celebrations which they focus on harmony and the spiritual paths and being good to each other. And I wish everybody would feel Christmassy all day long, all throughout the year, or any other religion they have, they would feel like they would in their own celebrations all throughout the year. We would all be a better people, and we would all have a better world to live in. As it stands, it's not really that promising. So thank you very much, and same to you, Gatto. Male 34, Italy. And male 65, Canada. There I am. And Peachy says, hello, Peachy. And Peachy says, female 30 Las Vegas with a heart, and thank you for the heart, for the love, appreciated, and heart back. Says, how do I stop with this catastrophic event ruminations? I keep thinking about the worst case scenarios and getting anxious. I'll get to that in a second. Let me finish saying hello to Carpe Diem. Carpe Diem is here. It says, hello, Mehran. Good to see you. Male 42, Canada. Thank you for that, Carpe Diem. Always delight to have you here with us. And Peachy says, okay, we did catch up with all the hellos. I mean, not all the hellos. Let me just say the hellos and I'll be right back. So Beyond the Wash says, hello, Mehran. Patrick here, sending you good key from Ireland. Ah, thank you. Thank you very much. I sent good key back. You know, we used to meditate while we were having a live talk, and we would take like a few minutes to do breathing exercise or concentration meditation. We have the videos of those, which are instructional meditation, which I hope you guys use it. Don't just use these live talks for just one time. I trim lots of them and pieces of it and the things we've done, especially the meditation, which is something we should incorporate in our lives, daily lives, every day. Look, we all take care of our bodies, including breathing, which is the essence of life, eating properly, nutrition, exercise. These are all physical, but we must also be able to take good care of our mind and to bring the right rhythm and coordination, harmony with the energy that it flows throughout the universe. In other words, the spirit of the universe and our spirit should also have a learning to be coordinated and in harmony. And for that, we need to meditate. You breathe and you become one with the air. You become one with that energy that the oxygen brings you and gives you life to your physical entity. Bring about that coordination and compatibility and oneness and joining, connection with the whole power of the universe. We must bring that balance. Just as we take care of our bodies, we got to take care of our mind and its connection with the universe, with nature. What do you do when you eat good, take good care of yourself, and use good, proper nutrition? What is it that you do when you breathe good and learn how to breathe and so on? These are all things to become one with the existence of the world, nature, life. And we gotta learn how to become coordinated in harmony with the spirit, the soul, the energy, the life force. And that is when you meditate. Then we have manifested our total powers, mind and body coordinated with the actual origin of where we all come from, which is energy. We must learn to bring meditation as part of our daily life. Just like you breathe, you meditate. And then, in one of my ways of describing this and this connection, when you learn how to bring meditation and breathing together as one, meaning making your breathing rhythms with process of thought included in it. In other words, every breath would have a thought process in it automatically, as so subtle. Then you will constantly be meditating while breathing, not even thinking about it. But it would be automatically part of the process of a thinking, part of the process of emotion of mind when you breathe, because you coordinate a thought process with the breathing. And we've done that. When we breathe in, we bring the energy of the universe toward us. We breathe out, then the thought process, energy expands to the ends of the universe. So in other words, we are in harmony with the movement of the universe. Like we bring in, breathe in, also energy of the universe comes in at the same time. That's a thought process. We exhale, also the energy of the universe is going back to the universe as it came to us when we breathe in. When we exhale, we also think that our energy, our thoughts, our focus expands to the ends of the universe in all directions. So you have breathe in, you bring energy, you condense the energy, you condense the universe to you. You and universe become one. You exhale, you expand to the ends or borders of the universe, which is endless, which is you're expanding into the universe. So in other words, universe in, breathe in. Breathe out, universe out, expands. Condense. So not just that breath comes in, air comes in, and air goes out. Also, the mind has a movement process that imagines universe condenses, becomes with it as one, and then condenses further to the small point lower the abdomen in one quick happening. And then when you exhale, the small point in the abdomen expands you and further expands to the ends of the universe. You and universe become one in expansion. You and universe become one in concentration. When you breathe in, with the thought process of universe also condensing its energy coming to you as you breathe inwardly. And you also expand, and you expand with the universe outwardly while you're exhaling outwardly. So the mind is also doing meditation when you're breathing in and breathing out. And after a while, this becomes a thought process unbeknown to you, meaning you're not aware of it necessarily, focusing on it, but its background action creates that meditation while you breathe. So turns out you'd be breathing all the time, and you'll be meditating all the time while you're breathing. So that'll have a profound effect, even though so subtle, even though you're not really deep in meditation, just focusing on that. But in the background, meditation is happening while in obviously you're just breathing. But there's a thought process that goes with it, which is not interfering with anything else you're doing. In fact, makes you really sharp and makes your mind actually one with the moment. Because it is not like you're breathing and then your mind is all over the place, and yesterday, a year ago, and the problems and so on. Your mind is also in the moment. You're breathing in the moment. The breathing is fresh in the moment, in the very moment. It's not in the past. You're not breathing the past and you're not breathing the future. You're breathing now, and your mind is in the now because it's also occupied in doing certain things, certain thought process, as you're doing the breathing, which is happening in the now. So your mind is happening in the now while you're breathing, and breathing is happening in the now. So you are in the now because mind and body both are present in the now. And that is when you manifest your total power. And that is pretty close to when you saw me do that exercise in that university, when the student tries to lift me up 1 second, no problem, a second later, no way. That's when the mind and body is unified and along with universe. So there's no separation between mind, body, and universe. All become one. And when you become one, then who can lift the whole universe? You're one with the universe. You're connected. And that is the state that you want to go through every day when you attend to your business and your dealings and your sports and your studies, all one. Focus and body and mind in the present moment. Sharply focus on what you are about to accomplish and set out to accomplish and taken care of. All right, having said that, do some nice breathing with the thought process. Breathing in, universe comes in, not just air. And thought process expands. Breathe in, thought process condenses to the one point, focuses there. Exhale, and thought along the exhale, the air expands to the ends of the universe in all directions, all corners, all directions. So you actually see your mind, your thoughts, travel to the ends of the universe. You become aware of the endless universe as you travel through the universe with your imagination as you expand that air out of your lungs. So it's an actual journey. Mind also is exercising, expanding and coming back. Brain is also a muscle. You got to strengthen it. So that meditation is also exercise for the brain while you exercise for your body when you breathe. All right. Having said all that, let's go to Ninja 987 says, I'm a ninja. All right, ninja. What about age, gender, and where you're tuning in from, ninja? Ameya Dol says, Laude. I'm not sure if I understand that. And Pranay Naik says, I'm male 17 from India. Thank you for that. And Dole is repeating the same word. I don't know what that means. Luna says, Salam Mehranjan. Salam Luna June. It says, glad to be tuning in from UK, 36 female. Kaifik al-yom. Tamam. Shukran. Tamam. I almost forgot. And Ameya Dole says, feeling anxious on seeing other boys, HOCD. Yeah, well, it's, anxious is part of our being. We are always anxious for different reasons. So don't read anything into it. Just say, okay, I'm anxious. All right. And then you'll see the anxious goes away because you become aware of it. You're not thinking of it. It's an external thing. You say, well, I am anxious, meaning anxious is me, which means you are creating it, which means you can stop it. Because you're not going to be affected by it, because you're going to be in the now, in the moment. In the now, in the moment, nothing's happening. You're totally in control and everything. And the anxiousness goes away, especially if you learn how to, when you're anxious, you do a double breathing using the breathing system of parafacial nuclei, which is not the normal system of breathing, which is the pre-Butzinger complex. So breathing, that's a pre-Butzinger complex at works. But then when you are crying or doing something else that the breathing rhythm changes, or even when you're laughing like that, that's the parafacial nuclei system, which you manipulate. It becomes a voluntarily way of breathing rather than the involuntary system, which is the pre-Butzinger complex. So instead of the normal breathing, when you're anxious, you can do this. When you double breathe, bring full amount of oxygen to your all cells, and you bring lots of oxygen, everything fills up, all the lungs, and from there it goes to all cells. It's some kind of a mini Wim Hof response or results. In Wim Hof breathing method, you breathe 30 long one using the pre-Butzinger complex system. And then by the 30th time, when you exhale, you pretty much don't feel like breathing. And you exercise and you get your not breathing for a minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. And you won't force it. You just don't feel like breathing because you've been filled for so much oxygen. And then your body goes through anxiety. And anxiety is sometimes good for you because it kind of resets your neurological system, all the system that needs to be reset. Through anxiety, you actually get it all sharpened. So stress is not sometimes bad. It depends on how you look at it. But if you ponder on it and don't be shocked by it, just become sharp by it, not shocked, and then you focus on what is it saying, and is that saying is true or not. So in your case, HOCD, you get anxious when you see another boy, another male. You say, okay, why am I anxious? Do I want to do anything sexual to the guy? No. Do I want anybody to touch me sexually? No. Why am I anxious? Maybe I'm anxious because I really like girls and I think I'm the top of the world. I'm the only male. I'm the best. I'm perfectionist. So when I see another male, I see a competition. I see perhaps someone maybe better looking or more fit and perhaps would have more chances with the girls. So I kind of envy his chances and thinking his chances is a threat to my chances to get the girls, to be popular with them, to get what I want. And that creates an anxiety. And then I think, oh, if he has a better chance with the girls, then that means I'm inferior to him. That inferiority makes you feel like if it's a certain kind of a submissiveness because he gets the girls more than you because you think he can, therefore you feel inferior. Therefore, then you associate that to perhaps an interest in homosexuality, and that gives you the anxiety. But if you learn the interpretation of it, means nothing, just okay, the guy's good looking, good, he's got better chance with the girl. Oh, well, yeah, I gotta, get fit myself and then have better chances. And you always, in any competition, if you feel you're in a competition in anything, don't focus on the competition because you are the competition. So just focus on doing your best, being your best, and then you will do better in that competition. In this case, just focus on being who you are, and the girls, there's so many girls around and many of them will like you. So don't feel like this other guy has better chances with the girls, so it takes your chances, so it's a threat to you, so you feel anxious, and then you interpret that to any interest in the boy instead of feeling envy of his chances and capability to get the girls because he's better looking maybe, or he's got some kind of, mean looking that girls might like, or he's fitter. All of that interpretation gets you to a place that where you misunderstand that anxiety and you end up thinking of it as a homosexual reaction, which gives you that feeling that you get. So just simply say, I don't care, I have my chances, and it means nothing. I don't have to have all the girls. So hopefully that will be something for you to ponder. And we have Luna says, I'm making a break from easy work. I'm taking a break from easy work, and what a welcome respite to join you, dear Mehan. Oh, delighted to have you here, always, Luna. And Ameya Dole, you keep repeating the same word, and I really don't know what it means or what you mean by it. So maybe you'd like to let us know what you mean. And perhaps you would let us know who you are, where you're tuning in from, and so on. So Aman Gatpal says, mine started, okay, you talk to each other. And Sean Holloway says, it's not that I'm scared of changing sexuality, as I've always been heterosexual and it's impossible to change it, just that I hate the thought so much, and I just want my brain to not feel so intense. Well, how many things in this life is there that you hate? Is it only that concept of homosexuality? Because, yeah, it's understandable. heterosexuals hate homosexualities, and maybe homosexuals hate heterosexualities because everybody loves who they are, what they are, and doesn't like anything that is opposite of it because it could be um, just not sitting well with the idea that one has of how life or lifestyle should be. So that's one thing that you might think that you should hate, or you do. But is there not other things in life that you hate? There are, right? So what are you going to do? Pay attention to all these things that you disagree with? No, because they are there. Everything in this universe, in this life, whether you like it or not like it, whether you agree with it or you don't agree with it, it's a fact. It's there. You know, if you're uh, thirsty, you drink water. But when you drink water, you don't want water. But when you're thirsty, you want water. So sometimes maybe you will hate too much drinking water because it's not good, right? Like if they force you to drink lots of water, you say, "Oh, I hate water." So it's just about, if you focus on something that you don't need, you may find it irrelevant to you. But why would you think that you should hate it? There's so many things irrelevant to you at a certain lifestyle or condition. Like if I'm full, if I had good lunch, I'm full, then food becomes irrelevant to me. Okay, because I'm full. I don't need it. I'm not interested in food. So why should I hate food? It's there for the ones who need food. And everything else, I may be exercising a lot and I say, "Oh, I'm, beat. I don't want it to exercise. I hate exercising." Pretty much, but when you feel like it, you exercise, right? So there are lots of things that you could like or you don't like at different times in life. And then there are lots of things that it's totally against your lifestyle, beliefs, understanding, or you have no use for it, and then there's no reason to hate it. It's just that you're not into it, and that's not part of your life. But it's a part of some other people's life. It's a fact. And how you live is not part of their life. So if that was the case, then you would hate them, they would hate you. What kind of world are we living in then? So the best thing to do is to recognize that every one of us have different lifestyles suitable to us and our gender, our mentality, our preferences. And everybody has the right to enjoy their lives the way they see fit for them. Because they were born this way and you were born the other way and somebody else is born the other way. But we all are here in this journey trying to negotiate and make sense out of this life. So really, the differences are nothing to hate. It's just something that you're not, look, you're in smorgasbord, there's all kind of food there. But you only take the ones that you're interested. You ignore and don't go around the kind of food that you have allergic reaction to it, or you don't like the smell of it, or you don't like the taste of it, or you don't like the look of it. Well, you spend your time with the part of the smorgasbord that's got the food that you want. But everything else is there for other people who are actually into that kind of a food and not in the kind that you are interested in. So these are facts. And if there are facts, what use does it do for you to hate or not hate? Just live your life and understand that this is your choice and it's sacred for you. You protect it with your life. But you don't have to hate anything else to protect what you love. Nobody's threatening you. And what comes to your thoughts is not reality. It's illusion. It's got no existence, no power. And if you want to be even more comfortable, you should rely on the work that I think Dr. Labott neurosurgeon, if I'm not mistaken his name, that they proved beyond the shadow of the doubt that what the brain does or suggests has got no power over you. You, in fact, are beyond the brain. So brain is just a tool, an apparatus that makes thoughts. How? They did a very interesting study. Materialists who thought there is nothing more than the brain, there's no mind, there's no brain, you are the brain, they tried to use this and say, see, the brain is everything, which actually worked against them because it proved beyond the shadow of the doubt that actually you are beyond the brain and brain is just a tool. And that was due to the work of, I think, Dr. Labot, which they did this open surgery, open probing on the brain. As you know, when you operate on brain, there is no pain. The skin and the skull, but once they get through it through the local anesthetic, then there is no pain when you're operating on the brain. So they were probing and to find out different things that is happening in the brain and localizing different parts that reacts to different stimulations. And that was a different experiment. But in this particular experiment, they were measuring what happens when you come up with a decision. And they asked the participants to prepare to make a decision to do something simple, like push a button. And then they would measure what happens. They have a timer that from the time that they say that's the time that I made a decision and this is the time I actually pushed a button. And they noticed before the time that they actually said they made the decision, they measured with instruments that was connected to their heads, not open surgery, this one. This one was all closed, regular, no touch on the, no surgery. So the time that the person said that he made a decision, they noticed the electromagnetic field showed a spike in the brain, in the electromagnetic field of the brain. Meaning, half a second before the decision was made, there was a spike. And then there was a decision, and then they went to push the button. So materialist says, hey, see, there's no free will. Whatever the brain says, that's what you do, that's what you are. But Dr. Labot was, I think it was him, was pretty fascinating and smart scientist. He went one step further and he said, okay, this time I want everybody think about pushing a button or something simple. And then once you get the decision to push the button, then veto it. Because if the brain, there is no free will and the brain is all, then there should be no chance for you to veto what the brain commands. But then they notice that every single they say, okay, push the button, oh, no, I don't. Eat this, no, I don't. So they notice that there is a beyond brain power which they cannot be localized in the brain, which means that what vetoes the brain is outside the brain, is you. So the you is beyond the brain and the brain is not you, you're not the brain. So Dr. Labot called it free want. So if there is no free will, let's say, that you claim that the brain makes all these decisions, but then there's a free want that you override because you're the commander, you're the judge, all-time judge of this entity, not the brain. So therefore, the thoughts that shows up on your head, it needs the judge. You're the only power that can allow life to a thought, survival to a thought, or not allowing it to ever come anything more than an illusion or an idea, but never have a life or become an action or actuality. Your choice is the power, and that power is not in the hands of the brain, materialist, material process. It's in the hand of the me, which was there way before the brain was given to us. An ability to think and speak was only given to us 40,000 years ago, but we lived millions of years before that. So what was that? So there is a me before the brain came on to be as sophisticated as it is. We had stem brain and everything was instinctive. Our life was instinctive. Eating, hunting, running, sleeping, having sex. Our sexual orientation was all hardwired, clean, clear. No doubts, no confusions. Why? Because there was no thinking ability. There was no speaking ability. There was no words. There was no connotation of any kind. So therefore, there was no interference, no ideas, no suggestions. Why? Because the thought is the roots of all problems. Because it's just thought. It's not factual. It's not actual. It's an idea. It's a suggestion. And then you thinking you're the brain, you fall for the foolish suggestion. Regardless of what your gender is, you all have HOCD. Every human brain is hit with OCD of some subset, some kind, and HOCD is for anybody and any gender. Homosexuals have it, heterosexuals have it, but you gotta understand the relationship between brain, thought, and you. And you understand that the you is the one who holds the key, is the only one that has the veto power, choice, selection. That's where the power is. That's where you are. Not the machine that makes thoughts. It makes thoughts 80, 90,000 thoughts a day. But you are the only one who can allow any of them to become an actuality and live in reality or not. That's the power. Therefore, all these thoughts that shows up in your head of any kind of, any OCD subsets, homosexuality, harm OCD, religious OCD, any kind of OCD, pedophilia OCD, any kind of OCD, these are all malfunctions of the brain, depending what your gender is, that it always attacks you with the opposite of it. In other words, it tells you you're not what you are and suggests that you're something else and tells you you will like that. These are all thoughts, but your choice, free want, is where the real power is, which is outside of the brain. And if any of you have watched one of my videos that I use the quantum physics experiments that they did in laboratory to show that when there's an observer outside of the system that is doing what it's doing, when there's an observer, that system changes its behavior. That's the quantum world. And you can also, in that video, I've explained that if you simply look into your brain right now, right this moment, look into your brain. I don't know how you imagine your brain is. It's got nooks and crannies. It's under the rocks you look for thoughts, or it's compartments you look for thoughts, or it's rooms you travel into it in your imagination looking for thoughts. Just right now, look for creation of a thought. Look if there is a thought somewhere in your brain while you're looking for a thought is being born. Just keep looking. Look in all nooks and crannies of your brain. Just look for a second in your mind. Imagine you're roaming through the mind, however you think your mind looks like, your brain looks like. Roam throughout your brain and look for a thought being born. While you're looking, you can see nothing is born. Nothing is there. Which means you are like that experiment in the quantum physics laboratory. Because you're the observer, you're outside of the brain. The brain, when you're looking into it in the quantum world, is going to stop making thoughts. Which proves to you you're like that measuring instrument in the quantum physics experiment laboratory. You're outside of the experiments, and the experiments behaves. Instead of showing 10 lines on the walls when the electron guns are fired through a slit, through a metal plate, instead of showing 10 lines when the measuring device, observer, is trying to peek, the scientist is trying to peek to see what happens in the experiments and put that measuring device. By putting that measuring device, which is outside of that whole apparatus that is doing the experiment, the electrons that are going through 2 slots, they don't create 10 lines on the wall anymore in the back wall. They only create 2 lines. But when the measuring device, the observer, is not there, the outside of the experiment apparatus, they have 10 lines. They act like a wave. Which means when there's an observer, they consider the observer, they know that the observer is not part of them, is outside of the experiment, and they behave. They change their behavior. Same thing, when you're looking for a thought in the brain, because you're not part of the brain, because brain is not you, because you're not the brain behaves and doesn't make any thoughts. Which proves to you, like the experiment in the quantum physics laboratory, you are not part of the brain. You are outside of the brain, meaning you're not the brain. Brain is not you. Hence, whatever the hell the brain makes in form of thoughts, no reality, not describing you, not part of you, unbeknown to you, and irrelevant to you. So whether it's HOCD, other OCDs, or any kind of intrusive thoughts, not true. Just brain's production, not yours. So if you understand that, you'll understand the irrelevancy of the production of thoughts in the brain, then who you are, what you've always been, what you are, what you'll always be. And these are just illusions and distractions. Don't be bamboozled. Just understand the separation between brain, thoughts, and you. And then you simply, all you have to do is protect your sacred values, which are all in your wise advocate, your gatekeeper, your super consciousness. That's your identity, your sexual orientation, your values, your morals, your faith, your manners, everything that you are. You have it in your core principles and your super consciousness. And you protect it. That's all. The rest of it are just intrusions. Just like you walk in the street and somebody utters some words, doesn't have any truth to it. It's their words, their opinion, but it just uttered at you. It doesn't mean it has any truth to it. You just walk by. Ignore them. And that's what you do with these intrusive thoughts. You ignore them because you see them that they're intrusive thoughts. You pay no attention to them. You recognize what they are, call them what they are, and you focus on your life. And you keep doing that, then through repetition, neuroplasticity takes over and rewires your brain, and these intrusive thoughts will start showing less and less and less. And if they did show, you know how to deal with them, because these are all signaling malfunction of the brain. Malfunction of the signaling system in the brain, which we talked about it. Striatum, caudate nucleus, and all that, so forth. The relationship between them and the prefrontal cortex. So it's all clear, all scientifically proven that these are all just nonsense. So don't fall for them. These are creation of material process, not describing you. No change is happening in you. No change can happen in you. You're already born and created the way you have. Whatever your gender is, that's how you're going to be. The rest of it is just intrusions and distractions. Don't fall for it. Like any other distractions that you see in your daily life, all people trying to sell you something, suggest something, and make you do this and be interested in this and that. So you just protect your own values. Say, just fuck off to all of them. Same thing you gotta do sometimes your own brain. Say, okay, come on, leave me alone. And that's it. Focus on your life. All right. Having said all that, Sean Holloway, hopefully that was helpful to you. Lisa says, Lisa is saying something very, I don't know what it means. It says, take the self-suffocation devices off your nose and mouth. I don't know. I don't know if it's supposed to be trolling me or what. But anyhow, I don't know, maybe she's talking, or he or she's talking about masks or something. I don't know. But anyhow, Lisa, if you are serious here to be joining the discussion, make yourself known who you are as far as gender, age, where you're tuning in from, and try to be, suggesting your thoughts here rather than making statements, and just bring the topic and see what we can discuss about it. You seem to be angry. Don't be angry. And Philo0525 says hello, hello. And remember, guys, the protocol is important. Like who you are, where you're talking, what your agenda is, how old you are, and where you're tuning in from. Slobodan Milicic, I hope I didn't butcher the name, says, hello, Meran 21 Belgrade. Hello there. And Maliha says, hi Meran, good to see you, female 27 Pakistan. Thank you for that, Maliha. What are you doing up so late? Must be about what, 2:30 or 2 o'clock? Or 1 o'clock in the morning. Amelia says, should I accept the thought and ERP to beat effing HOCD its worst level? Well, you always talk to your psychotherapists and psychologists, and if they're specialists in OCD and in HOCD and subsets of OCD, because not every psychologist knows how to deal with this. They have to be specialists in that. So I highly recommend, there are many psychologists, Dr. Schwartz, Dr. Philipson, Dr. Jan Rayner. These are specialists in this particular field, and you can reach their offices and ask and talk to their team and so on and so forth, and deal with it if you need further discussions. Aman says, can I get over HOCD after just go through your playlist? I mean, not going to psychologist, but just watching the playlist. I suggest you to do both. Go to psychotherapists and psychologists and learn what they have to say, and then have these understandings of the neurosurgeons' experiments that I explain in the videos, and understand what their findings are. Dr. Owens, Dr. Roger Sperry, Dr. Labet, Dr. Feldman, Dr. Penfeld, not Feldman, Dr. Penfeld and Dr. Feldman. And these are all, neurosurgeons and neuroscientists, and their work is amazingly interesting. And you will get all these facts, and you will see that this is just a hoax. It's a brain's malfunction, nothing more. But it's so powerful, the brain, that makes you think that it's actually real. But you are the only one that can make anything that the brain suggests to become an action or not. You hold the key. Don't underestimate your power. The brain is very powerful, but you are the one who can actually override that power. If you understand that separation, then you will see that all these suggestions that comes in, it doesn't come from you. It's coming from malfunctioning brain. And of course, I've got 2 playlists that talks about all these topics and such subjects. I always recommend you talk to your psychologists and psychotherapists, because I'm not a doctor. And so I want that to be cleared. All right. And Philo0525 says, why do I want my ex and not see something new in life? Is it because we have a kid together? Well, it's because every one of us have been focused on this image of this picture of getting married, have children, and then having that family that you've seen in the movies and you've been told by your parents, and you've grown that family. You see your mom and your dad and their structure of the family and so on. So you are focusing on having the same. And you had that story, start writing it with this woman, with this your girlfriend. So having been writing that story and moving towards other segments and scenarios and chapters of the story, so you got to know her, you got to be intimate with her, you got to stay with her, you went through experiences in life, and it was like, a kind of a family without children yet, and then you keep writing this scenario every day. So you got it to the part that you were thinking about then eventually get married with her or have children. Now suddenly, in the middle of your story, one of the actors, which is the main character, one is you, one is her, she's left. Like you're trying to produce a movie, and in the middle of it, the main character, which is you, and the counterpart is no longer there. So you're wondering, how can I continue this movie if I don't have her? So I must have her. But in fact, you must have a character, not that character. You just need to replace another actress, because the story can continue. The movie can be made. There's no destruction in the concept of the movie. There's no destruction in the scenario, in the writings, the story. You can continue that, but you think you can only continue it with this actor. The fact that this actor doesn't want to play in this movie, you think the movie cannot go on. The movie can. You just got to hire a new actress for this continuation of the story. So you are the story writer. The story cannot go anywhere. An element of the story that you have written that character in it is no longer want to participate. So you need to just replace another character and then continue writing the story. Your problem is that you think you can't write the story because that character is no longer there. The girlfriend is not there. What am I going to do? Why don't I go for someone new? I only want her, because you think the story can only continue with her, because all the previous scenes, it was her in the previous scenes. And you see, how can I continue a scene when she's not there? Don't worry, nobody will recognize it. You just take that character out and then you put another character. Just like the movies, there's an accident and then suddenly one of the characters is gone, and then there is a new character shows up, takes the place, and the whole thing continues. The mission continues with just another, character acting in the place of the other. And then you'll get used to that. That transition time is what scares you. See, what am I going to do in that transition time? Well, explore what the new person is. Find out all the wonderful things that she is bringing to the table. You cannot live in the past. The fact is, she's not with you anymore, right? So it's no actuality there. So you want to what? Live with the illusion of, what am I? No. It's like saying, well, the restaurant is closed, and I've been having food in that restaurant. So what am I going to do now? Well, go to another restaurant. Otherwise, you just die from hunger. There are other restaurants, other great foods out there. But unless you get your ass off the chair and go to other restaurants, you won't even know how delicious their food is. And you say, the hell with the other restaurant. They give me better service here, and the food is much tastier. I love it. But if you don't try it, you'll never know. You always say, that was the only restaurant that had food in. I'm just going to die. And is that what you want to do? But the same thing you're doing here. So she left. Big fucking deal. Go for another restaurant. Come on now. Life goes on. She's not holding the key to life. She can go do what she wants to do according to her preference, and you do what you do. And this is the card that you're dealt with. She doesn't want to be with you. If she doesn't want to be with you, she doesn't deserve your attention. Simple. Why should you give attention to someone who doesn't want to be with you? What for? Come on now. Get your head out of you know where and then see it clear. There's so many beautiful women out there, so many amazing opportunities out there, you know. Gee, everything else you accept. If you get fired from your job, you're going to be looking for another job right away because you can sense the seriousness of it. Your life depends on your food, depends on it. You got to find another job, right? But obviously you don't think this is important. That's why you're hanging around, waiting. Maybe they'll call me back and say, okay, come back to work. Say, no, you fired me? I don't want to work for you anymore. I'm going to find another job because I'm qualified. And you go find the company that cherishes you and wants your expertise. And if you need to, educate yourself, make a better self out of yourself, better version of yourself, and go offer your expertise to that new company. Same thing with the girlfriend. Whatever you think it was, and see if there was anything you can do better about yourself. Okay, you'll maybe try and learn more stuff, or bring a better version of yourself. Learn from that experience. You become a better person. In fact, you are already a better person because of the experience you had. So the next girlfriend is going to be luckier. And it's going to be obviously better because now you are more advanced and you know it, so you expect a better girlfriend. So you'll choose better this time. So go on. Go on and stop moaning and groaning. I wasn't the only girl in this world. Now, if you have a kid with her, well, just be the best father you can be. And before it's too late, maybe you choose another woman and have a family. Otherwise, if you keep waiting for her and she's going to go on and get married or have other family, and you're always going to be wondering that why did I lose the time? Because you get older and then it won't be that easy. In the meantime, just learn to be cordial to each other. If you have a kid with each other, I didn't know you have I didn't notice. I guess I forgot in my talks that you have children together. So you can be cordial to each other. Make sure that the child understands that you guys are not enemies and you're cooperating. You're making sure the child will feel safe. The mother will be the mother. The father will be the father. There will be no mother for that child. There will be no other father for that child. You both will make sure that the child would feel safe and comfortable and loved. Don't argue in front of him or her. And make sure that the child feels secure. And don't bring girlfriends or boyfriends in front of the child. Let the child feel that there's a mother and father, there's a unity of the family there, while even though you guys are separated. It wasn't his choice for you guys to get together, and it wasn't his or her choice for you guys not to be together. That was your bloody choices. So now you still fulfill your contract, your obligation to the child. Bring about that safe environment and love and attention, and don't try to replace the mother or replace the father with some another person and thinking that, oh yeah, I've got it all made. No, bullshit. Look at it from that child's point of view. So, but even though still she doesn't want to come back to you, no matter. You just be the best father you can be. Support the wife as well, the ex as well. And as far as you can, not wholeheartedly, otherwise she has to be responsible for her own. And then make a best possible situation for your child. That's all. That's the first priority. Okay. Slobodan says, HOCD is like fighting with no opponent. That's right. That's why you should stop fighting and don't give a shit. Let it just kill itself. But keep coming on. You just say, okay, I understand. I don't care. Keep thinking. And Ash says, HOCD is like throwing at an opponent who dodges last second, causing you to break your hand against the wall behind them. Which means just don't fall for it. They're illusions. They're not there. They're like transparent. There's nothing there. You're hitting the wall. You think there's something in front of the wall that you're going to crush it. So you hit it. But because there's nothing there, that's why you keep hitting your hand to the wall. In fact, there's nothing there. It's just an idea, suggestion, image, thought, which has no existence, no actuality. It's just bullshit. And you got to come to understand that and then say, okay, I see you, the bullshit, and I move on to some other things that I know that is what I want. I don't want you. Simple. I disagree with you. And allow the thought to be there. So many things in this world, they're there, but you're not paying attention to it. So the same thing. Thoughts are there, but you don't have to pay attention to it. Just say, okay, I recognize this thought is here, intrusive thoughts, but I recognize it for what it is. I call it intrusive thoughts. I call it OCD, not me. I call it HOCD, not me. I call it the brain, not me. It's the brain, it's not me. And I recognize the thought. I don't try to push it away, resist it, this and doesn't exist, and destroy it and burn it and all that. I just say, okay, I see you, but it's irrelevant to me. So you can imagine whatever you want. Have fun. Keep playing. I'm going to be doing my thing. And it's interference, like you're trying to study and there's so much noise around. You say, oh, fuck off, everybody. Be quiet. You can't get them quiet because they're nincompoops. They're assholes. They don't care because they have no responsibility. They're taking your time and your valued time that you want to study and produce something, create something. They're trying to bring distortions, yeah? So what do you have to do? You got to learn to continue your design and your work and your studies while these noises are there, and you become really good at it, that you just focus on that, and after a while through practices you become a master of, I don't fucking hear anything else, I'm just focused on the study, and I can really do these math and these studies, philosophical studies, scientific studies, and I'm actually tuned out with everything else. So you learn to recognize the intrusive thought, then tune out yourself and focus on that, and after a while, whether they're there or not, you're tuned out. And eventually the brain says, oh, this guy is not playing, he's not giving a shit. So I'm wasting my time. I can't get a rise out of him. I can't get any kind of interaction, energy exchange. So I would not be able to think that I'm alive by getting him to fight with me and create that kind of a friction. So I will find myself that I'm existing. This guy is not paying attention to me. Just says, yeah, I know you're there, but I don't give a shit. So that means there's no energy here. I should go somewhere else. Then it stops showing up. And whenever it shows up, you do the same thing. And eventually, you'll see it's less and less and less and less. And things start getting back into normal. The fact that we've been talking about it so much, don't you think that you're now more kind of in control of this thing? Like you're not it's like a boogeyman that always shows up and then you'll find out it's just a shadow. It's not a real boogeyman, there's nothing there. It's just a shadow of that, I don't know, whatever, moon, that tree, that whatever, reflection of that light. You kind of get to see the truth of it, and no longer that thing gives you a shiver or a jolt or anxiety, because you're focusing on the fact of whatever it is, not the illusion that it tries to bring to your attention. So you see through it, and you no longer go, ha, ha. You don't do any of that because you know it's just a shadow, it's hollow, there's nothing in there. So you just let it be. Recognize, that's what you are. Okay, you're here again. The reflection is there. Okay. Oh, HOCD. Okay, intrusive thoughts. Okay, I understand. Okay, I see you, but I don't give a shit. And you go on. And eventually, that becomes less and less powerful. And you become more and more powerful. Because through the knowledge and ability to see through things, the facts of things, then you become and bring that belief and factuality and who you are and your character, focusing on who you've always been and focusing on these hopes to be what they are, hopes, and then you'll feel comfortable. You're no longer scared of that dark alley because there's nothing there, it's just shadows. And right now you feel better, don't you? Yeah, simple. So through repetitions of this sort of thinking, neuroplasticity will take place, rewiring your brain. Ash says HOCD is like smashing the side of a TV to try to get it working again. It just doesn't work. Doesn't mean that the station is not broadcasting good program. It's just not receiving it. Okay. Yeah, the other one that Ash is saying is about the plane and the evacuation of the plane due to silently farting. You're very imaginative today. No wonder you have HOCD. This powerful imaginative brain that you have is copy exactly like everybody else's brain who has OCD and HOCD. They're very powerful, imaginative. That's the problem with the whole thing. That's the whole thing. But good, more power to you. See, you can see these are all product of imagination, nothing else. Because just as you can imagine so many amazing things, sometimes it goes rogue and imagines all this kind of bullshit, and then you fall for your own fucking imaginations. That's the dilemma here. You create the imagination because your brain is so powerful and imaginative. Then you fall for that thinking that, oh, I imagined, so it must be true. No, it's still imagination. Doesn't matter what you think of it. It's bullshit. So stick to your guns. Yeah, Aman, stop talking to people. People don't know shit. They have no understanding. Why would you think if you cannot understand the hell out of this thing while you know the truth is that you're not gay, why do you ask some woman who you say is not a doctor, is not a psychologist, has no experience, why you ask it? Because why? Because that's what OCD is. You want assurance, and you're willing to get that assurance from every Tom, Dick, and Harry, but you don't realize that that Tom, Dick, and Harry, or Jane, or Lila, is actually could be a person who doesn't know shit and says some shit that you actually get more bamboozled because they are talking out of their asses. They don't know anything about these things and how the malfunction is. So as I said before to you, stop hunting for it and understand this is a malfunction of the brain. Don't keep trying to get assurance for this, that, and the other one. What do they know? You know yourself that you're not gay, and that's all it matters. Doesn't matter what the other's opinion is by what you're telling them. They don't know shit. And it doesn't matter what the brain is suggesting. You know better, and you already know that you're not. So that's the effort. The other stuff is to understand how to ignore these thoughts, and that's the remedy for it. And talk to your psychologist, psychotherapists, and get help from them. They can help you because science has proven this what it is. You don't have to fall for it. Baboxy Slow says, I asked in the past, but I was too late for your answer. Male 43 Edmonton. Create, oh no, male 43, not Edmonton, emotions. He says, emotions create thoughts. The thoughts you cannot shut down, or control it. They can do a lot of damage, since they can create your emotions, which can create cortisol, and too many cortisol damage your life. How to step off from this never-ending circle. Stop paying attention to those thoughts. No, brain can make the body react, but it's the thought that brings that reaction, not the actual action or actuality of it. You know how powerful thought is, brain is. It can make your body react in different ways. The anxiety makes you react in a certain way. You can see a statue out in the middle of the city made out of marble, smooth, and shows a body, a naked body, butt or muscle, and regardless if it's a man or woman, to the brain, as it's been conditioned in the pictures and pictorials and the mediums throughout life, movies and whatnot, so forth, to the brain, that naked statue and smooth marble or steel or however it's made at bronze has a association, a connotation of sex. Because the concept of sex is created out of that what you're watching. It could be a backside of a horse. Shiny, smooth light shines on and it's around, and the idea of the butt and the so on, you see the back of the horse, you see the horse. But the brain can also associate it with butt, round, sex, and it can go all tangents before you know it in a half a second, in an epsilon of a second. The association of that statue in the middle of the city, the naked body of the woman or the man or whatever it is there, it could take the brain to all so many different thoughts. It can take to artistry, it can take to the sculpture of the body, it can take to strength, it can take to sex, it can take to athletes, it can take to war, it can take to any tangent. That's the ability of the brain. And then the one that actually may seem to be considered by the brain to be a danger, that its job is to protect you, could be the one that has to do with the sexual orientation, because that's the bloody thing that is constantly being pumped into people's head through the mediums and all kind of publications and the videos and the movies, and it's constantly talking about sex and different lifestyles and different sexual orientations and things that could be irrelevant to you, relevant to somebody else, and irrelevant to somebody else, relevant to you. But these kinds of things that most of it and many of it is useless and irrelevant and unnecessary, is constantly flowing into this sea of information that is going to everyone's brain. So it picks up the one that it thinks is dangerous, because its job is to protect you from anything that it considers danger. And anything to do with something that is opposite of your inclination, of your interest, of your values, it finds it that possibly could be dangerous. So it focuses on that. So among all these tangents, it focuses on the sex and then talks about, oh, that was a muscle that you thought of sex, which is actually association of the brain's capability, but says then that was happened to be a man's muscle, therefore that's homosexuality, homosexual inclination. You say, well, I just looked at the statute. But all these association and connotation was derived from it. And now you have to deal with all that. But you don't have to deal with any of that. That's what the brain does. It conjures up things, it goes to tangents, it associates with everything that is there to associate, because its job is to scan everything and see if there's any possibility of needing to alert you of something. It could be this, it could be danger of different kind to any person, it could be other kinds of considerations that the brain is going to function as something that is trying to protect you from whatever it deemed to be dangerous or needs to alert you of. And then that brain, the negative mind, sticks with it and tries to focus on it. And the more it focuses on it, the more it becomes like as if it's real. But you got to understand that when it alerts you of something, you just say, okay, thank you for the alert. I'm aware of it. Don't worry. I am who I am. I am not going to change just because something came to your attention and you're alerting me of it. And the association of this to that and to that to that doesn't make me be a different gender that I've always been. The suggestion of it is irrelevant to me. That's how you respond, and you go on. And then you don't make a fuss out of it. That, oh, its suggestion was made, then it must mean something. No, suggestions are being made in the world to all kinds of people, all kinds of deals and businesses and offers here and there. But you don't accept the suggestion dies. It's simple. You say, okay, suggestion, well, fine. Suggestions can survive, but I don't have to pay attention to it. I focus on whatever it is that I'm interested in. That's how you deal with it. Ash is coming back to himself. Good for you. Nice hunting the grizzly. Slobodan says, mine is started. Okay. No, Aman, you keep asking the same thing. I've answered that so many times. It's just, so I'm going to keep answering the same one. You just keep watching the videos. Instead of listening to people that you say, and the fact that this person that recovered from HOCD that you say, and of course you do, then you talk to your psychologist and learn how ERP is. And what he was suggesting, he was talking about not being alarmed by thought, but simply allowing thoughts to be there. And don't make your focus onto the whole concept of homosexuality as if it's something that you have to be scared of. There's so many things out there. We know they're out there, and we know we're not interested in it, but we don't have to be scared of it. So it's there. I don't have to focus on it. I know it's there, but I'm not interested, so I've got no worries about it. So if it happens to be offered to me, I reject it and go on about my business. So I don't have to be scared about it. So that's why you write the word gay on paper and just understand that this word exists, but it's got no threat to you. It's the idea that you get anxious about, but you're not gay. So the idea, you should allow the ideas to be there as they've been there for thousands of years. But we're here. For thousands of years, these ideas have been there, but our ancestors and so on had no connection with it. That's why you are heterosexual. So if they've been there for thousands of years and still haven't affected you and didn't affect your ancestors, didn't affect you because they're just different paths and different genes and genomes and different way of being, so why would you start worrying about it now? You didn't have to worry about it for thousands of years. And it's proven to you it doesn't do anything to you, even though they exist. So why should you be worried about it now? We're all here, we're all different, and we all exist, or we don't have to worry about the existence of the others. So that lifestyle exists, but it shouldn't bother you, and it shouldn't frighten you. It shouldn't bring anxiety to you. It never did bring any kind of a change in any of your ancestors for thousands of years, and that's why you're here. So what's changed? Why do you have to worry about it now? It's still going to continue the same way. So relax about it. There's so many things available in this world, so they are. But we have the power of choice. Nobody can force you to anything. You choose what your inclination, what your preference is, and based on that, what your gender is, and based on that you make your choices, and based on that you live your life. So the rest of it, they live their lives. No danger anybody for anybody. Beyond the Watch says, hi Meron, small question. Male 29 Ireland. Recent breakup, my ex lined up another guy before she chose to break up. She's 25, seemed to prioritize pleasure, and is quite preoccupied with fun. I feel I put my best foot forward in our time together, 3 months. I believe I was balanced and went in aiming to get to know her and maybe build something. Her mind changed as my work studies got busy and we were separated during the lockdown. When we eventually got to see each other, she was disrespectful and was not bringing her efforts to the table. Following this meeting, I stepped back as I was confused by this quick change in behavior. Can I ask Meron? I wish her well, and I'm moving forward with focus in my life. How does one handle these unusual changes in one's partner behavior? Because that's never a partner. You begin to know who's a partner after quite a bit of a time, more than 3 months. And you got to be living together, talking with each other, doing things together, see how each negotiates daily challenges, and then how to support each other, stand for each other, help each other, and have each other's back. Then you begin to consider a partner. Just you go to bed with someone, that's your partner? No, it's not. It's just it's a fuck. It's not a partner. Why do you give such great echelons to girls just as soon as you sleep with them? Because we men think it's such a privilege to have sex with a woman, and then that woman could have given it to anybody else, so we feel so, flabbergasted, so amazed. And then suddenly, she's my partner. She's my lady. No, she's not. You got to get to know if she deserves to be your lady. That was just a sexual intercourse, and depends on the commitment of the two after that and how they treat each other for a long time. Then you begin to understand if she is worthy of being your partner, and you the same. But you boys, just as soon as you get some girl to bed, you think, oh, she's my lady, she's my wife, she's my woman. No, she was a fuck, and that's all you were to her, unless you both show to each other that it wasn't a fuck. It is intentional communication, communicative, respectful, and knowing each other's worth and bonding on consciousness level, and wanting to support each other, wanting to be for each other, and committed to one exclusive relationship. That comes with time. You can't just label, okay, I've got a box, I'll close it, and I label on it, it's gold in it. Just because you labeled on it, that doesn't mean there's gold. There's just hot air in it. There's nothing in it. Could be shit in it. So you have to be patient. You got to take the label off, open the box, and look into it. See what you can find. You can't just believe a content of a box by the label it's got. Everybody puts labels on. Don't you see? Everybody's got a label on. Gucci bags and high heels and dude up hair and smile as if I've got it all figured out, she looks. But you got to get to know her. What's in that thing, that beautiful look and presentation? What's making it tick? That's where the whole connection is, or disconnection. Well, you don't go that far. All you go far is, look at those legs. Oh, look at this smile. Oh, she makes me feel great. Oh, she's everything I ever wanted. Why? because we are all programmed for procreation, sex. We have no control on it. That's what we are programmed. But you got to go beyond it in order to find if she is partner worthy. Otherwise, it is like you've been programmed as an animal in your genes. Say female, female attracted, sex, I love to be with her. That's it. But you interpret that attraction, which is sexual, which is part of your program, your gene as a heterosexual male, you love women, and you think of it as that is an evidence that she's the right match for you. No, there's a lot more to a woman, to a human being, than their presence, their physical appearance. That is what you're having a relationship with. What's in here, what makes them tick, what has been content of their consciousness. But you don't focus on that when you see the beauty and the sexuality of a woman, do you? And you just go to conclusion. No, see all her fragmentations. See what she's all about. See your own fragmentations. See what you're all about. And then find each other's center. Find each other's consciousness. Find how you're compatible or not. And through time and interaction and interchange, exchange of energy, and your behavior towards each other, you will find that out. The 3 months you were with the girl and suddenly she's cold to me, so I wonder how, what? She was just an idiot who's constantly looking around for branch to branch and fuck with this one and fuck with that one, and they think pleasure is what life's solutions and remedies are found in pleasure. That's why most people are just duped and follow finding a remedy to their life through pleasure. That's why they all fucked up. That's why we're all fucked up. Because you're seeking solutions to your problems of life in pleasure. And when you find pleasure, you think the pleasure is the solution. And then when the pleasure is not there, you think the solution to your life is not there. You're looking at this girl as a solution. That's why you miss her. She's no solution. She's just a jerk. Honestly, you can't come to say that, can you? Because you had sex with her. She's so important now. You can't dare to say that, otherwise you might lose her. No, face it. If she breaks up with you for no reason, well, she's not interested. Okay, that's her right. But to you, you can say she's a jerk. Because she was with me, slept with me, she's sleeping with somebody else. She's got no path in her life. She's got no commitment, no seriousness. You don't see all this. You only see, oh, but she was so nice that we were together. Yeah, okay, so what? That's pleasure. But it's not a remedy. It's not a solution to your life, to your challenges of your life. Do not look at pleasure as remedy and solution, because then you fall into that pitfall and you think of a pleasure as solution, and then you think when they leave, the solution to your life is gone. Then you get fucked up. You get all devastated because you don't think and you don't see what really left. Nothing, just a relationship that wasn't working out. You think solution to the problem and challenges of your life has changed because you only looking for solution in pleasure. Don't. Pleasure is just taking you out of the reality and not noticing the challenges that you need to deal with. Pleasure is not a solution to the challenges. You see it clear, you see her clear. All right, that's all I have to say about that. And Adrian is here. Hello, Meran. Adrian, 41, Romania. Yeah, aka Rocky. Yes, Adrian. Says you're like gold. Oh, am I? Thank you. Says you're like gold, Meran. That is why you are so hard to find. Oh, now I'm here. You gave many gold nuggets here, but why not so many see the value and don't understand? Thanks. I really don't know. I really don't know. Look, we are 16 people here. I would have thought 16,000 should be here because we don't get these conversations from, I don't know, any other channel. You have to research for it for months and months to find it, but it's here available. But I don't know. I think my channel is not being visible, but whatever. We're here for the ones who are here. Hopefully that you guys eventually get off your asses and actually promote the channel. And maybe more people will get to know about us. For heaven's sake, I've asked you so many times, God damn it, to please promote this little 1 minute and 47-second video and help us to grow. And I've always put this video's link for you guys, and hopefully you will find in your heart to bloody hell advertise this on your social media. And here it is. I put it up there again. That's 1 minute and 47-second talking about the live stream and what we do. So, but you know, obviously looks like we're not going to go anywhere, because we've been here for what, God knows how many years, and we're still hitting what, 2019. So in fact, that's how much I'm worth. No more. Don't make a big fuss out of me, because if it was, really, honestly, we'd have 16,000 people here. And Philo says, thank you, with lots of hearts, loves, says thank you, and says, I love it. I will be the best father I can be to my daughter and provide a safe environment. Good for you. That's what I like to hear. Good for you. And he says, God bless you, and God bless you as well. Steven says, hello, Mehran. Steven says, male 40, Los Angeles. Slobodan Milicic says, I feel attached to every, I feel attracted to every man in the world. Well, okay, then you are. So what? We're all attracted to different things, and that doesn't mean anything. You can be a heterosexual and think, oh, that person looks good. Okay, good. Good looking. That kind of makes you proud that another male looks good. Okay, good. But that doesn't mean you want to sleep with the guy. So, Zot 1000 says, do you like rock and roll? Zot, what about you telling us a little bit about you? Gender, age, where are you tuning in from? At least a little bit about you. Then we'll talk about things that really has nothing to do with anything, which is your question. Do you like rock and roll? Do you like pizza? Well, you may, yes, or you may not, but what does it do for our conversation here? And Kamil Jarniecki, I can't read it, but so I broke up with my girlfriend, but I had a good relation with her family. Should I keep in touch with them? Not really, because you know eventually they will be sour to you, because the girl is going to find another boyfriend, and she's going to be on their case. Why are you still, you know, chatting with him, with you, and why are you this and that? And they eventually find it awkward. So you simply, I don't know how long you've been with this girl. You didn't tell me that, to see if it's warrants any attention. And really, you want to be in contact with them because you still want to be in contact with her. Otherwise, you can't tell me that you really think, oh, they're so great. I just, you know, you have your own parents. You want to connect with them, connect with your own parents. These people were nice to you because you were the boyfriend of the girl, their girl. So they were nice to you. Now that you're not, she's going to find another boy. They're going to be nice to him, and you're going to be awkward there. What are you doing? What are you hanging out there for? There's nothing to be given to you. And you start feeling weak and sucking up to them for what? So they could have an influence on the girl and make the girl to like you again. Fuck that. If the girl didn't have enough brain in her mind to appreciate you for who you are, you're thinking that she's going to listen to her parents? So you're going to enter her mind and life through the parents' suggestions and recommendations? Don't. You can be cordial to them because you knew them and so on, and that's fine. If you see them, you're always warm and cordial and gentleman. But you don't have to be in contact. Call them, hi, Mrs. Fan, how are you today? What the fuck you calling for? You called last week. There's no reason. Really, if you look at it, if you think they're going to think of you that, oh, he's not coming around with us because he just wanted our girl, now that they're not together, he doesn't contact us. Well, yeah, that was why you were there. You were not dating them. You're not their son. You were there because you liked their girl. The girl was paying attention to you. Now she's not. So really, the connection is severed. Unless you guys knew each other for God knows like 10 years or 5 years, you know, they were grandparents of your children and you were married, and then yeah, of course. But at this time, you wean it out. Don't be rude or anything, but Christmas you can call and say Happy Merry Christmas and all that, and that's the extent of it. Occasions for about a year, maybe less than that, few months, depending on how many occasions, and then wean it off, and that's it. Just disappear. Because you will also find another girlfriend, and she will have parents, and you want to be cordial to them and spend time with them. So how many people are you going to be ending up? If you end up having 5 girlfriends, you're going to have 5 families that you're going to be keeping in touch with. What for? I understand it's a human thing, but it's not really practical. Right, Ash is talking to, good, 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 good. And Persephone Line says, hello sir, I'm a 26-year-old lady who is recently broken up from a thief and a pathological liar. Your videos have been getting me through a rough time. I'm delighted that you're enjoying the videos. Thank you for sharing that. Persephone? I don't know your name, so I just call in your screen name. Says, through this painful experience, I know now what I truly want in a marriage partner. Ah, okay then, good, then it turned out good. You get good information out of it. And Camille Jarniki says 4 years. Huh. So 4 years you've been with her. And what was your age? Did you give me your age? You didn't give me your age. What's wrong with you guys? What happened to the protocol? First things first. Age, gender, where are you tuning in from? That's what I like to know. Camille. Sprach. Spill it out. Gender, age, where you I know, okay, you're a man, that far I know. But then age and where you're tuning in from. Bloody hell, you guys, I'm here for you guys, and there obviously everything is complimentary here. So the hell, at least give me the protocol. That's the least you can do. And a like, and the like. Now, good, the like numbers are good. They're 24, 17 people, 24 likes. That's what I like. Chamomile. I'm back to chamomile. I had too many green teas. Too much caffeine. And Philo525 says, my apologies, age 33 from Los Angeles. Thank you for that. I started watching your videos 3 days ago and have been the best knowledge and wisdom videos I've seen. Oh, thank you very much. I hope that you guys will use that link that I sent up there. It's 1 minute and 47 seconds, and you know, you kind of share that on your social media, let people know, let this channel grow, for heaven's sake. If you think these informations are unique, and I really think it is, and I'm unanimous on that. That reminds me of this British movie. I think Ash could help out here. This British sitcom that this lady, what was her name? God. She had an older couple, and she was always into these formalities and pretending she's a royalty of some kind, and her periwinkle, I don't know, utensils and the cups and so on. she was hilarious. And every time that she wanted to make sure that she gets her way, she says, and I'm unanimous on that. So I'm unanimous on that. Bloody hell, you guys share that on your social media. Otherwise, if you think that this channel has worthy points and information, in regards to the psyche, thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, ego, understanding them, how it's explained about the devastation after breakup, how to move on, how to understand your own psyche and the movement of your mind, movement of your psyche, how to deal with OCD, HOCD, and understand all these components and the scientific findings of the neurosurgeons and all these things that we share here. If you think these are worthy, for heaven's sake, do something about it, guys. We will die in the sea of YouTube if we are not helped to be recognized. And we are not recognized, really, but the ones who find us, they swear by it. They know this made a profound change in their lives. And that is my intention, to share with you my research, to finding. For years, I'm 65 years old, and I've had a few researches here and there, experiences, learnings, and I've been able to deliver this in a different way that it actually makes people understand things that they need to understand, but they never knew about it. It's out there, the information, but somehow they hadn't come across it, or nobody really cared to actually explain it to them in the way that it's been done on this channel. So if you think these are worthwhile, which I think they are, and I'm unanimous on that, so bloody hell, roll up your sleeves, goddammit. There are channels on this YouTube that pretty much, without prejudice, they do shit for anybody. It's just nothing, nonsense. But they've got 800,000, 500,000 subscribers. Why? They market it well. So you guys help and market this channel. Get it out there. Why? Because it helps people. And I want to help people. And I am helping people. Look at the number of videos that we have. It's over 2,000 videos. Pretty much anything you can think of under the sun, we got a video on it. All I have to do in my live stream is see your questions and refer you to a channel, to a video that I've already made on it. So this is what the resources available here, and its support. So when you do this to reach more people, help more people, so we can help more people, then the channel will start naturally, without any cost or expense on you, get more views, and then we make more money. When we make more money, then I can unleash my programs, maybe put some personal weekend retreats, maybe we can put some workshops in different countries when this whole fucking pandemic goes away, pardon my French, and then we can actually share a lot more than I can share here. There are a couple of things that I can still add to what I can share with you guys, which can't be done here. Anyhow, enough of that. You guys get the gist of it now. So, and thank you for that, Philo0525. Appreciate that. And Captain Crin says, it has been a long time since I could come. Lots of hi from Azerbaijan. Afandi, I guess. I was busy with preparation for thesis. Hope you, sir, doing good. I'm delighted that you could make it. Thank you very much. I'm happy to have you back. Aman says, I may be asked this question before. Okay, but I forgot your answer. I'm not going to repeat it, for heaven's sake. You got to watch this program or some other program, Aman, because you don't run out of question. If you don't run out of question, you will never recover. You got to think that there are no questions because there are no answer to be had. It's just a hoax. It's just the brain's malfunction. And you got to leave it at that and then talk to your psychologists and psychotherapists to help you. Otherwise, you keep asking questions, and no matter how many times I respond to you, just want, because that's a doubting disease. You want assurance. So another question gives you another assurance. And you can't remedy by assurance. You need to learn to live in uncertainty. In other words, saying, I don't give a fuck what it means. I just don't. And then you release yourself. Ich, not nicht, give a fuck, give a fuck. And you will be fine. Laugh it off. Ridicule it. This thing is not something for you to base your life and your fears on it. This is thought-based, bullshit-based, non-existence, malfunction of the brain. Watch the other videos. I explain how the malfunction takes place and how you can rewire yourself. Carpidem says, I think you are referring to keeping up appearances. Yes, you're right, Carpidem. You got it. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes. What's her name? She has a kind of a traditional name. Yeah. Hyacinth. Yes, there you go. Hyacinth bucket. Yes, thank you very much. Yes. Carpe diem. Yeah, I used to watch it. I haven't seen it forever now. But when my son was little, one of the things that I was watching when he was finished with his homework and all that, and he was, playing with his toys or doing something else, I would sometimes we watched it together too. It was funny. Thank you for that. Yeah, funny British show. Yes, absolutely. Aman says, why don't you make a TV show? Like, Philo says, yes, definitely have been sharing your videos on my Instagram. Not sure if you have one. My IG is OLMIC. I will keep sharing. I have one. Mine is Mind Seeks. Here, I write it down here. Mind Seeks. And I tried to go on TikTok and I opened the TikTok account, but I can't load anything more than 6 seconds. What good is it? But they say it's 59 seconds. I can live with that, but I can't get it. It's everything, every video I want to upload is 59 seconds, but they only upload 6 seconds. So I haven't uploaded anything. I don't know how to work it. It's just silly. I don't know. And he says, I will keep sharing and spreading your knowledge video to help others. I appreciate that, Philo. Or Phil. I appreciate that. Sloboda Milici says, I'm still alive because of you, Mehran. My HOCD is really powerful. You're more powerful than that. Listen, listen, listen. Did I say listen? Listen. You say, my HOCD, meaning HOCD could not have survived or be of a question at all if there was not a you first. That means it is you that HOCD could attach itself to it and cause confusion and trouble. Meaning, you are the foundation, not HOCD. HOCD is like a fucking fly. If there was no you, the fly couldn't sit on you. You can't say, fly, between me and the fly is more powerful than me, because if it was more powerful, it wouldn't need you to attach to you. It's surviving by sticking itself to you, getting nourishment from your attention to it. But if you simply don't want it, you can swat it away. It needs you to be alive. You don't need HOCD to be alive. In other words, you are above HOCD. You are the main character. You say, my HOCD, that means you're more powerful than HOCD. Otherwise, it would be, HOCD would be my, what's your name? Slobodan. But it's a Slobodan says, my HOCD. That means you are the more powerful one. So if you think HOCD is powerful, it's because you giving it power. Don't give it, it won't be. Don't give it attention, it won't be. Think about it. Ashram says 1 foot in the grave, Mehran. What? 1 foot in the grave? The name of that program? No. Oh yeah, no, it's not. No, it was what Carpe Diem said. Hyacinth bucket. It was really funny, and that was the name was what was it? Keeping Up Appearances. Uh, and Luna says, "Don't forget Faulty Towers." And my favorite, Emmanuel. Oh yeah, Faulty Towers. It was really funny. I just couldn't stop laughing every time I watched that thing. And and Manuel. Ah, it was very good. It was very good. Yeah, this is British stuff. And the Two Runnies. I don't know if you guys ever had the chance to watch Two Runnies. And Dave Allen at Large. There are so many. And of course, Benny Hill show, Mr. Bean. And Ash says the bigger channels may market well, but they're like McDonald's. They're handing out burgers without nutrients. Says your channel's burgers look messy, but they're full of protein and nutrients. Yes, you're right. Absolutely. My channel doesn't have a real background and all the bells and whistles. It's just homegrown, but it's delicious. I've got nutritious in it. Quality merchandise here. Okay, guys, it's been 2 hours. We're here. I think you guys are tired of me now, and it's time for me maybe to have breakfast. Excuse me. Because I didn't have time. I had a few spoons of pomegranate, which I love, and a piece of nice bread and butter. It was lovely. But I don't often want to eat in the mornings. Depends, especially not when I'm about to, rush. I like to take my time, make some breakfast, and that would be fine. Carpe Diem says, I was wrong, Maran. It was Miss Slocum from Are You Being Served? No. Are You Being Served is Mr. Peacock and the other ones. That's the one that you said is the correct one. Hyacinth. Mr. Peacock and Mr. Jeffries, Are You Being Served? No. I'm unanimous on that. Is the Hyacinth's slang? Carvison enjoy some laughs tonight. Yeah, I should go on YouTube and watch them. Good to revisit those shows from time to time. Yes. Yeah. I used to watch them. Are you free? Have you been served with my son? We had a great time. And to these days, sometimes when we text each other, I say, "Mr. Peacock, are you free?" You know how that show goes. Luna says, "Thank you for a wonderful session again, dear Mehran. Wishing you a lovely weekend. Till next time. Good night from London with love." And thank you very much, Luna, for being here. And good night from Vancouver with love. And I appreciate that very much. So, guys, we answered all the questions, and I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. And it's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here and giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to talk to you again. Tonight at 9 p.m., I plan to have another one for the other parts of the world, different time zones. And if you had the chance to join me, please do. And if not, I look forward to talk to you next Saturday at 1 p.m. Hopefully every Saturday. Hopefully things go well every Saturday. I can do it. So Saturday 1 p.m. Vancouver time and Saturday 9 p.m. Vancouver time. In the meantime, I look forward for you all to have a wonderful week. And in the meantime, be good to yourself, to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.